Marla Maiuri is a writer and speaker who shares from spiritual inspiration and writes about matters of the heart. Marla recalls having a wonder for everything beyond physical experience since looking up to the heavens from a tricycle. When asked about her personal life, she responds, "My romantic relationships are with women," and she is presently inspired in the writings of several books. There will be an opportunity to meet Marla today following our service to talk to her about her project on love, and inside your bulletin are 2 links so you can find additional information about her there as well, and to also find out more information about how you can help her. One of the videos that she has posted on YouTube is this one here. As we prepare for Pride and all the ways that we can support our residents of Grosse Pointe and beyond points, this time I invite Marla to come join with us. Give us our word.
Thank you, Reverend Richard, dear friend. What a lovely day in early June to celebrate Pride Month together. Demonstrate love, then observe the world. Let us start from where we are now. After all, that is the best we can do in this moment. And yes, it is enough. When we set the intention on loving the best we can from where we're at, we are now on our way. It feels so good to love because love is truly who we are. We then desire to hold an even greater love for others. When we make the choice to love first, what we then observe has changed. For some, it might be seeing and feeling the love between a same-gender couple and not immediately jumping into, I wonder what their roles are in their relationship. It might be saying, I'm going to ask my longtime friend from grade school to stand up at my wedding, and not saying, how could that work with their gender identity and expression? I am quite honored that Reverend Richard handed over his pulpit to me on Pentecost Sunday. When we talked about the timing of my talk, we both liked the connection that today offered to Pride Month. The birth of the Christian church. The rebirth of our connection with each other. The descent of the Holy Spirit. Our renewal of our relationship to Spirit. Renewal because we are ready for it. We want to love in a new way. We want to close the gap. So how will you experience Pride Month? Whether you choose to walk with an organization that shouts equality, or you walk somewhere else among the human family, what matters is the place of love you are coming from. Is it without condition? If you choose to march this month, with every step, are you loving the one that remains uncertain to who you are? If you're somewhere else on the globe, going about your life, are you free of judgment? And are you loving the human holding the rainbow banner? So if you choose to participate in a walk this month, while you're celebrating a love of self and others, don't forget to include all others in that love. When you reach for the handle of a local merchant's door this month and you notice that rainbow ribbon, what are your thoughts? What is that merchant saying to the community? Clearly they're saying, we celebrate loving the entire human family. Will you join them? Are we brave enough to question our beliefs? To start by saying, perhaps there's more I can see here. Do you have beliefs that are hindering you? Are you estranged from someone because they told you the gender they identify with, the gender which they are, is different than the gender they arrived here with? If so, do you feel divinely guided with this? This is a healing crystal. Healing crystals are known to balance the energy body and remove energy blocks. This particular one is selenite, which is a crystal that cleanses auras. Resonating at higher frequencies, selenite crystals are believed to promote spiritual development. So if you think of this, the path you could take with the thought process of this to other thoughts that we have about beliefs, you might start with a healing crystal. You've got to be kidding. That's absolute rejection, isn't it? Full resistance. It's actually kind of pretty. It also has a nice texture. It feels good to hold it. It can't hurt to hang on to it. I mean, it was a gift after all. Now, what is supposed to be the energy of this again? So just as we move through that, to go from total rejection to releasing resistance a little at a time, we can reach openness. I don't desire to manipulate the God of your understanding. Why would we ever want to change another, to force our hand? Why? Because we are under the illusion it is of paramount importance to our own happiness. When you speak out against that significant part of who I am, my sexuality and my gender identity and expression, you are asking me to resist and suppress myself. When I give in, even for a moment, I risk losing all other valuable parts of me right along with it. It means the creative work that is flowing from me ceases as well. Are we asking others to love us while we are not loving them? You cannot assert yourself into someone's soul. No, that's by invitation. And it's a sacred one. And if you're looking to connect, that's where you want to be. So when you're tempted to push against the views of another because you believe you're right, know that they are adding another layer to their wall. Consider telling them how you feel without telling them how to feel. Now watch the miracles unfold. By definition, I'm homosexual. A person who is sexually attracted to people of their own sex. There it is. No, not a person attracted to all people of their own sex. If all of you were homosexual, I would not be an expert on who you are. A word or a label cannot capture all of us. My preference is, as Reverend Richard indicated, my romantic relationships are with women. Since I probably won't find that next to a box to check, I probably would check homosexual. If I say that is not a label I use, can that be enough for you? Whether you're one that pulls from the vast array of labels that exist, or like me, you're a person that frees themselves from labels, just love. I seek to love first, most, and always. My quest for understanding shall not overpower my thirst to love. If this hasn't been your experience, then imagine going to your junior prom and at the restaurant following, while glancing at several couples across the long table, your eyes settle on one person, and you think, wow, I wish she was my date. Imagine a life where not only do you not give yourself that permission to live this authenticity, but society doesn't either. You continue on your way, other moments mirroring prom night, until one day, every part of you says, I can do this no more. If you think I'm inappropriate, then you do. If you feel uncomfortable in my presence, then you must decide. One thing is for sure, I'm not going back. I don't want to have attachments to your understanding this. Actually, that's a long shot. Anyway, we're here to delve further into understanding ourselves, to love others without the need to understand so much. As a very dear friend said, if today you are known to me as James, and tomorrow you say, I'm Sarah, then you are Sarah. I require nothing more. And I can tell you, she means it. This is where we are headed, one transformation at a time. I just upgraded my AAA membership from Plus RV to Premier RV. My new silver membership card arrived in the mail yesterday. As I was comparing cards to verify all the information transferred over accurately, I remembered how, maybe a few years ago, a new membership card arrived, and it had Ms. before Marla. I called AAA, and I simply said, print off another card without the Ms. They were beautiful about it, and I was too. Let's go easy on ourselves and others as we continue to evolve together. Those assumptions are being made less and less. And when we go in with a loving energy, people are more willing and ready to learn. Upon my last physical exam, my internist said, while shaking his head, "You're one of the healthiest people I know." This was not long after a long-term romantic relationship I was in came to its completion. I'm eager to hear his comments this year. Why? Because I'm not who I was 2 years ago, and neither are you. In these 2 years, I've mindfully shifted some of my beliefs. Yes, the ones that weren't serving me well. In doing so, I can now hold a love for her again. A much different love, yes, but love nonetheless. First for me, then for her. This involved not seeing any wrongdoing, having no blame. Realizing my role is simply to decide what I desire in this life for myself. When we choose to love, not "I'll love them anyway," just love. Then observe the world and bask in what you see. One thing I believe we all can agree on, whether like me, you believe we have more than one incarnation, whether you ponder that possibility, or if you believe we've got one incredible visit here. Regardless of these different views, what we do know is this: the makeup that we are experiencing now will not repeat. Who we are in this human experience, those in our lives now, birth parents, romantic partners, family members, friends, not to be repeated again. So how do we want to spend this time? Are we spending it with them? The beauty of life is it's never too late. It's never too late to see things differently. It's never too late to pause and ponder. It's never too late to allow for that ever so soft shift. I don't believe we can get it wrong, but we sure can hold ourselves away from incredible love. Today, I will love without condition. In the oneness that we share, understanding already exists.